Imagine being a billionaire, a global icon, and only paying $750 in taxes for an entire year while millions of hardworking Americans contribute thousands. Does that sound fair? Is this the system we want to keep in place, or is it time to reconsider the way wealth and taxes work in this country? Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you're interested in diving deep into finance, politics, and social justice, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and I need your support to get there. Let's dive in and unpack this game-changing tax scandal that has everyone talking. The year 2020 was filled with unprecedented events, and one of the biggest bombshells that dropped was the leak of former President Donald Trump's tax returns. This revelation raised serious questions about the fairness of the U.S. tax system, especially when it comes to the super rich. What we found out was eye-opening. Trump, who is claimed to be one of the wealthiest men in the world, paid just $750 in taxes in 2016, the year he was elected as president. But it didn't stop there. In 2020, the year of the pandemic, he paid nothing at all in federal income taxes. So how did this happen? How could a billionaire businessman, someone with real estate holdings, resorts, and branding deals across the world, manage to pay so little? To understand this, we need to dive into the mechanics of tax filings, deductions, and the ways the ultra-wealthy navigate the tax code. The documents that were leaked came from the New York Times, which had obtained years of Trump's tax filings. These documents showed that Trump didn't just avoid paying taxes by simply earning less. He used a wide range of deductions to drastically reduce his taxable income. For instance, Trump reported massive losses on some of his businesses, like his golf courses, hotels, and casinos. And what's more, he was able to write off expenses that most regular taxpayers would never dream of claiming, such as the costs for private jets, luxury homes, and even his children's education. The tax loopholes used by the rich. Let's break down the tax system and the loopholes the ultra-wealthy like Trump used to avoid paying taxes. First, there's the issue of business deductions. For most Americans, personal expenses are not tax deductible. But for business owners, the game changes. Through their businesses, they can claim a vast number of write-offs that significantly reduce their taxable income. Some of these expenses are valid, like the cost of running a business, but others are more dubious. Trump's ability to write off expenses like private air travel and expensive homes as business costs is an example of how loopholes can be exploited. Why does this matter? So, why should this matter to us? For one, this raises the question of fairness. Should the wealthiest Americans be able to avoid paying their fair share of taxes, while the rest of us, teachers, nurses, firefighters, are paying higher tax rates? It's not just about Trump. This situation is representative of a much larger issue in the tax system. The wealth gap in America is widening, and it's clear that the ultra-wealthy are able to shield themselves from taxes in ways that the average worker simply can't. According to experts, people like Trump pay a lower percentage of their income in taxes than the average middle-class person. That's a problem, and it's one that's at the heart of debates about tax reform in this country. When the news broke, there was outrage from many corners of the country. For most Americans, the idea that the richest people in society aren't paying their fair share while working-class citizens shoulder the burden is infuriating. The public demanded answers. How is it possible that someone who is a global brand, someone with so much influence and wealth, can pay so little in taxes? On the other hand, Trump's supporters argued that this is the system as it is, that he was using legal means to minimize his tax burden. They believed that this was just smart business, a reflection of his business acumen. After all, he was using the same tax laws that any other wealthy business owner would. What can we learn from this? There are several takeaways from this situation. First, we need to recognize the disparities in the tax system. The system was built in a way that benefits the rich, and the ultra-wealthy often use that to their advantage. This situation exposes the structural inequalities that exist, where the rich can hire top accountants and tax lawyers to exploit every possible loophole, while the average citizen is left paying a higher percentage of their income in taxes. Second, the question arises, what can we do about it? How do we ensure that billionaires and millionaires contribute their fair share to the government, especially as we deal with issues like education, healthcare, and infrastructure that require serious funding? The answer lies in tax reform. There is a growing movement calling for progressive tax policies, which ensure that those at the top contribute proportionately more, while also simplifying the tax code so it's harder for people to take advantage of loopholes. The future of tax reform. Looking ahead, we can expect the debate on tax reform to intensify. President Joe Biden, during his campaign, emphasized the need for tax changes, especially for the wealthiest Americans. He has proposed raising corporate taxes and ensuring that individuals making over $400,000 per year pay their fair share. But of course, these proposals face strong opposition from conservatives, who argue that higher taxes on the wealthy will stifle economic growth and harm job creation. The leak of Trump's tax returns wasn't just about one man's financial dealings. It was a wake-up call for the entire country. It exposed the deep flaws in the tax system and sparked a national conversation about fairness, accountability, and the future of tax reform. So what do you think? Was Trump simply following the law, or did he exploit a system that's rigged in favor of the rich? Should there be tax reform to close these loopholes? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I'd love for you to be a part of our community. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.